Hello, I am G.A. Cross, and welcome to R&G at the Crossroad.
And I'm Roosevelt. We'd like to thank you for joining our broadcast today. And today, what we're going to be talking about is procrastination.
Initially, I want to just give a good start on how does pretty much Webster's the dictionary's version of what actually is, given a definition of what procrastination is. And the dictionary's version is the action of delaying or postponing something. In other words, putting off something that you plan to do or something that you had on your agenda. Anything that you have that you need to execute or get done. And procrastinate is basically just putting it off to another time. So we're going that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about how procrastination, how it can really be a dream killer for you.
Absolutely, man, for certain, because, and we're all guilty. There's nobody can say they ain't guilty of procrastination. It has nothing to do with your social economics. It has nothing to do with your dreams. We just happen to be human beings, and that is the thing that human beings do. We procrastinate. So, yeah, go on and talk more about it, Gerald.
Yeah, I really like this topic a lot because it's something that has really caused me a lot of trouble over the years. I've gone to a lot of seminars, workshops, different things, in great speakers. They motivate you really well, so on and so forth, and you get excited, and then when you get home, sometimes
life happens.
Life happens. Self-doubt happens. Our day-to-day routine happens. And we get into that point to where we're like, we're starting to getting ready to do something and say, hey, I need to complete this task, or I need to start working on my dreams. I need to begin to initiate and get involved with my purpose today. But then we say, well, oh no, I'll put it out maybe tomorrow. Oh no, maybe next week. But not realizing the simple thing is that usually when you put it out to tomorrow or next week, whatever, if it's anxiety that you have an issue with or so on and so forth, it's not going to feel any better to get started tomorrow. It ain't going to feel no better really to get started next week. It ain't going to feel any better to get started next month, especially if it's a fear that you have or something that's causing you to have self-doubt. It's never going to be, it's a situation where it just simply is not going to ever be a perfect time to get started.
And I was having a conversation with my cousin yesterday, who I'm extremely close with. I've shared with you about her. She has that business, Clean Supreme in Huntsville, Alabama, and she's tired. And we share everything. She's the only person in my life that I share everything with. And one of the things I share with her, and that I'm going to be open, because that's what this platform is about. This platform is helping me. My relationship with you is helping me to overcome fears. And I share with her, I said, listen, we go through stuff and we care more about other people. There's got to be some point in time where you got to give a damn about yourself. There's got to become a point in time where you have to understand that these things, now where we are in life, the things that you have put off, they become more prevalent. And not only that, they could be a hindrance, because now you're thinking about your age. At the end of the day, you got to care about you, because God put dreams in all of us.
That's true. That's very true.
And it's easy to say tomorrow. Dude, I've been living tomorrow for 62 years. So I chose not to live tomorrow anymore. Make it happen. Do it. Because at the end of the day, we're all closer to the grave, man, but we're here for a reason.
Absolutely. And I think that has a lot to do with our purpose in itself. And that's powerful what you said. I can truly relate to that, because a lot of times we are motivated a lot of times in regard to want to help others. But the strongest and most powerful reality is that you can't help anybody until you help yourself.
Right.
My
Right.
granddaddy, man, he was very, very adamant about that concept. He said, listen, man, you can't do anybody any good if you're not in a good place in your mind.
Mhm.
If you're not healthy, if you're not feeling well, you know, you have to be strong in your might to be able to pull anybody out of anything. If you're weak, mentally weak, physically weak, and so on and so forth, how are you gonna pull anybody of anything if you can't help yourself?
Absolutely.
You know,
I'm a big fan of Zig Ziglar, Norman Vincent Peale, and we all you and I both have that identifying relationship where go to seminars, we listen to these motivators, Les Brown, in every single one of them, they make a statement. The richest place in the world is the graveyard.
absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You
A
know,
lot. Mhm.
and are you going to die with your dreams? I don't want to, but I've been on that course. And
And
today,
it's about what our platform is about. It's
mhm,
our platform is about decisions and how they affect our outcomes.
right,
At some point, you have to make the decision that you want to get involved with your purpose today. And a
right,
lot of times we get nauseous because we're like, oh man, to get involved with my purpose or whatever your dream is, or whatever that you're supposed to be doing, or whatever is nagging you to pursue
mhm,
more.
mhm,
You get nauseous because you think, oh man, in order to do that, I got to do 20 things. Well, you can't consume and take out 20 things on an agenda in one day.
right,
That's like trying to eat a
right,
5-course meal all on one plate, all at one time. You're gonna get indigestion, and
absolutely,
you're not gonna feel well about that meal. So it's the
absolutely.
same way about your purpose and dreams. Learn to take down one task at a time
A-
and
a-
not get indigestion.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's another thing that I share when I'm speaking with my cousin, and just reflecting on this conversation we're having. We get so enamored about what people think about us. That's just a normal human condition. But when you got to get to a place in your life, because you're no good to nobody if you're not good to yourself, as you had said earlier. And we got to overcome these fears. You got to freaking say, you know what, we got to overcome. There's something in this, or that dream, and one step at a time.
That's an interesting point, because people, even sometimes, they might not even mean malice. Jay-Z was talking about this, man. I saw, man, I like to see his interviews, but he was talking about his uncle. And he was like, his uncle was saying, hey, you'll never sell 1 million records. And Jay was like, man, I've done that plenty of times. He said, but I don't have any bad feelings for my uncle. He didn't have any malice towards me. It's just he didn't conscious. He put his abilities and what he was capable of on me. And what can happen is, in a conversation where it can be family members or friends and so on and so forth, what can happen is unintentionally, they can put their capabilities and what's possible for them on you. And all of a sudden, you're thinking that you can't do it, which will cause you to procrastinate, because you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
well, this is
yeah.
what I feel my purpose should be. Excuse me. I feel like this is my purpose. But then you're like, oh man, well, maybe I'm not ready, or maybe I'm not prepared enough, or maybe I'm not this, so on and so forth. And then it will happen to where you begin with the self-doubt situation.
Mhm.
And also on and so forth. That could cause another situation, is what we call is it's basically a situation where perfection, which is called perfection
Yeah,
paralysis, where
yeah, yeah,
you're waiting for everything that you prepare and everything that you set up and so on and so forth for it to be perfect. Well, we're not perfect beings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never gonna be a perfect time. Your plans are never gonna be perfect.
And we spend time trying to be perfect, but it ain't never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
So let me share something with you. I just texted my niece today, and I have spoken with her, and she was here last summer with her 4 children. And absolutely, it was a great environment. And being that I don't have a relationship with my children, that's mine. My niece, she's firstborn. She calls me brother, uncle. And I shut her down. And she's feeling some kind of way. I haven't spoken to her since she left here, maybe once. And this was in May of last year. And I love her. She's like my little sister. And she's the firstborn. I text her today, and let me read this text. Hey, you, just reaching out to let you know that I love you, because I know she's feeling some kind of way. How are you not contacting me? And she's up in North Carolina, in Charlotte. Just reaching out to you, let you know that I love you to bits and always will. I'm just doing me right now. I purchased another life insurance because she's my, what do they call it? She's the one who's going to take care of my life or my death, So she's in my will and everything. I just purchased another insurance, blah, 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 blah. And I'm writing this book, and I spoke to you about that. And, you'll always be a huge part of my life for the rest of my life. I just need to be selfish right now. I hope that you understand. Love you. Then I came back with another text after I finished that. I failed to mention that we're about to launch our podcast this week. Been working on that since last April. You'll be very proud of me. And I had another, and then I went on and said something else. Like I know you enough to know that you feel like I abandoned you. That's not the case. At this stage of my life, I've chosen to do what I need to do to fulfill at least one of my dreams, if not more. And that requires me to do what I'm doing. So I said that all that to say, I procrastinating all my life. But I got this huge thing in me that won't let me quit. Which is, I'm very grateful for when I moved back here and you came to me. I wasn't thinking about doing this, man. But when you brought it to me, my spirit was like, that's one dude I know that I can trust, because of what we've already established prior to. And what really messed me up, you sit in my living room, bro, and you're like, guess how many people's houses I've been in the last 10 years. So I'm trying to figure out a number. I'm like, okay, me knowing you, know what I know about you and how private you are, there's a number attached to that. So I said 2. You said, nope, you're the first one. Bro, you have no idea how that affected me and motivated me to do different. So yeah, we're on this journey, man. We're gonna make it work.
Absolutely. And the main thing is getting a clear understanding is that it's so many different things. Like I said, we can get derailed with trying to help others before we get ourselves in a good place, which is what you were doing. You had to make that choice. Just like, hey, I gotta put a pause on this. I have to do something to get myself together. And also coming to a point of realization that procrastination truly is a dream killer. And we have to go into ourselves and say, hey, what is the most valuable use of my time right now? Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, so on and so forth. But what's the most valuable use of my time right now? How am I spending my time? Am I spending my time in places where I need to be? or my spending time in places that don't benefit me at all. So
Right.
who we associate ourselves with a lot of times can become who we are. Because
Well, more times than not.
because think
More
about
times
it.
than not.
Because you got to think about this, man. You don't want to be the smartest person in your group.
No,
You see
no,
what I'm saying? That's another
no,
thing too. So
no.
all these things that are contributing factors, like you mentioned, the fear, that fear. A lot of times, hey, I was listening to Les Brown when he talked
Spill.
about it. Yeah, he talked about a speaker. He was saying, hey man, when he was a kid, he had this dog that chased him every time he got off the bus. He was scared, so scared just to death of this dog. And every time he got off the bus, the dog would chase him home. And then he said, you know what, I'll make a stand. I'm gonna make a stand. So he gets to this wall in his neighborhood. The dog's chasing him. He grabs a brick off the wall. He's about to turn around and bust his dog in the head. He turns around and faces the dog and realizes the dog ain't got no teeth. The dog ain't got no teeth to do him any harm.
Wow.
Can't bite him.
Wow.
Can't harm him. All he does is make a whole lot of noise. But he's been running for dear life for this dog that ain't got no teeth. And that is what happens to a lot of us in life. We are running from a dog that has no teeth to do us any harm. And a lot of times, it's that fear that can't hurt us.
Yeah. Just piggyback off of you. I'm my mind is bringing me back to Zig Ziglar, a book I read, the first book I read of his, See You at the Top. And he was at an ice cream stand, or he was somewhere trying to get something. And the person said to him, I'll get around to it. I'll get around to it. And Zig Ziglar pulled out a piece of paper, cut it into a circle, and wrote on it, round to it. And he handed it to this person. Here's your round to it. Now do it.
Yeah.
Because
if not, it's not going to happen. And I hate to say it, but procrastination can cause you to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it on here because we want to not be explicit, but a BS artist.
Right. Which I've been.
You know what I'm saying? You can't.
I've done that. And that's why I'm so grateful for this community that we're putting together.
Absolutely.
Because it absolutely takes people of the same mindset to share ideas, to share resources, and bring them into a community to where that community will grow and it'll change people's lives.
And a lot of times when you talk about an individual to a family, and a family to an extended community, a lot of times it requires us to come into a situation where we're like, you know what? We have to find a powerful enough reason for us to embed ourselves.
Got to be a why. Yeah.
It has to be a strong reason.
Strong why.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I
Get
agree.
behind a strong enough reason to instill some mobility.
Yeah.
To get you going. Because a lot of times, if that reason is strong enough, it can
You'll
cause you to make that decision that you need to make.
You'll break through. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%, brother.
Yeah. It can get you, unstuck, which is another a segment piece that we have. But that procrastination, if it's causing you not to take action and causing you to put things off, then you automatically know those are the symptoms of killing your dreams. Because tomorrow and so on and so forth, it's never going to be a perfect time. And then another thing too, sit back and identify those reasons for yourself.
Right.
Why am I procrastinating?
Right.
Am I afraid of something?
Right.
And then if it is, identify what it is that you're afraid of and take a look at it and see, okay, hey, this thing that I'm afraid of, do I really need to be afraid of?
Right.
And sometimes we have to take a hard look at that.
And, and the reality is, the acronym for fear is false evidence realized. Because everything I've ever been afraid of in my life, when I finally make that decision to break through it, that was nothing but a ghost.
Oh yeah. I think it was
nothing but a ghost.
I think it was either Les or Zig that said that, and I don't want to quote anybody wrong, but
they all say it.
Say it. Right. They was talking about that. Yeah. Yeah,
They
they
all
were
say
talking
that.
about that situation where, it's a situation to where, you don't want to live within the consciousness of others as well. You don't
Right.
want to do that.
Which
You
is
have
one of
to,
the toughest things in life you'll ever have to deal with.
yeah, you have to do that. You have to take upon your own identity,
Mhm.
and you have to define yourself. Don't allow people to
Right.
define you.
Right.
Don't
You're,
allow other, yeah, and don't
you're
allow
either
people
going to
to,
be a leader or a follower.
yeah, and don't allow people to tell you what is possible for you,
Right.
because it's not possible for them. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
as talking to our folks, we just want to let you know, please don't allow procrastination to kill your dreams. Find out the reasons, and find out, what it is that's, find out and identify your purpose, and find your way to get involved with that purpose. And you'll begin to rediscover things about yourself that you didn't know about yourself.
Right.
So,
And we want you all to understand that we believe every individual is at a crossroad every day. Life's about decisions and choices. It's up to us to make decisions or to remain the same, regress, or grow. We're about finding solutions that will positively change the dynamics of our lives, your lives, and our community lives. So one of our statements is going to be one of our taglines is what now and what's next. The choice is yours. Come join us on this journey. We love to have you, and we look forward to you guys being a part of the Crossroad.
absolutely, absolutely. I just want to repeat that. Welcome to RNG at the Crossroad, and the R is for Roosevelt, and the G is for Gerald. So always remember, folks, your biggest obstacle in life is yourself. So get
Absolutely.
past yourself and get on your way to your purpose in order to have better outcomes. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Have a good night.